Hi, I'm Jed Thompson with JISAO, the Joint Institute for the Study of the Atmosphere and the Ocean, and the host of Science in 180. We just arrived here at NOAA's Pacific Marine Environmental Lab in Seattle, Washington, and I'm going to meet with Joe Reesing, who's one of our chief scientists, and he recently got back from a research cruise, and he got high-definition video footage of one of the largest, deepest undersea volcanoes to ever be filmed erupting. So he's going to tell us about that, and let's go meet Joe.
What were we expecting to find? I think everybody on the ship was expecting to find an eruption, because that's what I told them they'd find, and I was the chief scientist, so that's what everybody thought, we'd find an eruption. But I had to, at the science meeting at the beginning, I had to tamp down expectations a little bit. We discovered it in November, so we rescheduled the ship. We got a robot, the Jason 2 from Woods Hole. We took the University of Washington ship out there, and we managed to put together a 7-day cruise to go look for the eruption. And then we got there again in May, I think 5 or 6 months later, and it was still erupting. We pulled up the hydrophone, we looked at all the sound recordings, and it obviously had been erupting continuously for the entire time between when they put the hydrophone down 5 months earlier and when we got there. And in fact, if you look at the acoustic record, it's much, much louder at other times. When we were there, it was amongst its quietest times on that record. And yet we saw the most spectacular stuff. You can only imagine what we'll see if we go back where it happened to be at this super active time. So one of the really neat things we saw were these magma bubbles, where the magmatic gases, and they're coming up the volcanic conduit, and they blow a big magma bubble, kind of like you blow a bubblegum bubble. They just burst right in front of you. It was just the most spectacular thing you've seen. Sometimes we see these lava bubbles on land, but it's very, very neat stuff. Another really cool thing is, see how the rocks are, we know the rocks are going up into the air, but watch, they come back down and run right back in. Mm-hmm. It's got your little washing machine cycle going in a way. You got the smoke coming out the top and then being sucked back into the bottom. There was one instance where there was a big explosion, and all these rocks fell into what, in front of the Jason, there's a basket, a box. Anyway, it's a big explosion, filled the box with rocks. They had spent about an hour and a half picking the rocks out one by one. So I was talking about that acoustic record, that sound record that said it was easily much, much more violent in the past. I can only imagine what we'd see, or whether we could even get close at the more violent times.
This has been Science in 180. That was Joe Reesing, and I'm Jed Thompson. Thanks for watching.